Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Okay, shall we do some tweets?
Sure.
So it's a mixture of relevant things and not relevant things. We're starting with a not really relevant thing. I forgot to change the thing. Oh no, there it is. Hey, there we go. Against Atheism says... Atheism says there's nothing wrong with raping a child. Think about that.
It's because it's outside the purview of what atheism cares to answer.
Well, that's
atheism is an answer to a single question.
It's not that atheism says there's nothing wrong with raping a child. It's that atheism is silent on the matter.
It's a category error.
Yeah.
Like, you did a category error. Congratulations.
It'd be like my water bottle says that your favorite color has to be pink.
Yeah, your water bottle doesn't have anything to say on the matter. Truthfully speaking.
Yeah.
You can't believe Mr. Atheism would do such a thing.
Yeah, how can you be against atheism without understanding what atheism is?
I think it's... So, to Steelman, not that there's anything worth Steelmanning there, but to Steelman... I mean, what tends to happen...
This is a watered-down Frank Turek.
Yeah.
Like...
So, to Steelman, I think where it comes from, usually, is people looking at atheism as if it were a replacement for Christianity. And for some people, it kind of is. There are people who become as vehement about their atheism as any religious person could be, and they are fucking insufferable. As an atheist, when I see those people, it agitates me because I'm like, man, did I used to sound like that? But
the agnostics bother me more.
No, the one does. Uwu?
Yeah, he's literally the only agnostic that has ever made his whole life about his agnosticism like that.
So
Zurask says, mechanic with nasty ears, get your ears cleaned out at home or by a dock and invest in a shower head with a jet function, hose out ears every shower. What do you think I've been doing for the last 2 weeks? I have that. I told y'all I've tried everything. But thank you for the $5. And I appreciate the good intentions.
That is a thing to note. Like, remember, anytime Rhino or I get frustrated about anything, we're not trying to be directly angry or mad at y'all at all. But oftentimes, y'all are person number 59 who has said the thing or who has suggested a thing. And I think most people, because I saw this with a clip I was talking about yesterday, I don't think most people understand what it means to constantly have the advice, the pressure, the everything that comes with being a content creator. It can cause some of us to be a little fucking snippy sometimes.
Did you try cutting off your ears? I have legitimately thought for a moment that, like, oh, I know people say Van Gogh had an ear infection and that's why he cut it off. It might have just been impacted wax. This is frustrating as fuck. Like, honestly, I would rather be hard of hearing because I am legitimately losing my hearing than this. Because at least if you're hard of hearing because it's legitimately going away, you can get a fucking hearing aid. Whereas with this, I'm constantly not... Like, I accidentally bought a kid a stuffed animal after he said no to it because I didn't hear him say no. Because he was, like, checking it to see if it was, like, a price that he was willing to pay out of his allowance. And he didn't have his money on him, so I was just going to pay for it and he was going to pay me back. And apparently he said, no, I don't want it after I scanned it to see the price. And I didn't hear that. So I just bought it and he was like, okay, I'm going to put it back now. I'm like, what do you mean you're putting it back? What the fuck? What's going on here? So yeah, so no, the agreement we came to is no, you don't have to pay me back since you did say no and I just didn't hear you, but it is half mine since I paid for it.
Jesus Christ.
If I tried turning it on and off again.
Have you tried turning your ear off and on again? Have you, Rhino?
I don't know what that would mean.
So you take you
warm oil in the ear. Yes, And the fucking dog got to the like. They make little spritzers that are specifically for. It's just a little bottle of olive oil that has a tip on it that you stick in your ear and you give little spritzes. And I leave it beside my bed because I do that in the morning and at night and throughout the day a lot. And the fucking dog got to it, so I have to like clean it off because I know she was licking it. And that's gross. I don't want to put dog saliva in my ear. Maybe that'll be the thing that does it. Get the dog to dribble in there. Control Alt Earleat. Okay. Next up, Dale Partridge. He's retweeting TRT World that says teenagers at a high school in California gather in the school gymnasium to perform Friday prayers as there is no masjid on campus. So that was a video of teenagers, like Muslim teenagers, doing Muslim prayers in the school, which as long as it's not being forced on them by a teacher, fine. I don't really care. But he retweeted that saying, outlaw Islam. Freedom of religion was about the freedom to choose a Christian denomination.
Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. I need you to say that exactly in the cadence you did. Outlaw Islam, and then...
Freedom of religion was about freedom to choose a Christian denomination, not freedom for pagan religions.
Freedom from religion, ban Islam. Freedom of religion, ban Islam. What? My guy, do you know what those words mean?
Congress shall make no law affecting the establishment of a religion. That it didn't say anything about Christianity. It's a religion.
Jesus Christ. Freedom of religion, ban Islam. I don't think you
I don't think you understand words.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. Much like me. Moving on. The next one is also Dale. Hello, why aren't you scrolling? There we go. How can we live in a world with such obvious sins? Feminism, homosexuality, abortion, pagan immigration, immodesty, porn, divorce. Yet most pastors say nothing.
Pagan immigration? That's what
it's a dog.
Is now?
He's trying to dog whistle. Because the pagans are the ones that aren't white. Although a lot of the ones from South America are Catholic.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you seen that, like, how Hispanic people act
South America is more Christian than the States is.
It's because we kind of...
Yeah, but so what I found interesting here is that his list of sins are missing things like pedophilia.
I mean, it's missing it in the same way that Tennessee was missing it. Do you remember that? Where they were trying to have a special type of marriage that was unique to cis heterosexual people, and it just for some reason didn't have any clause in there about, you know, maybe there's an age that's considered too young to marry.
Yeah.
Nothing in there about that.
Yeah. But also, like, Dale Partridge is a Trump supporter. How many times has Trump been divorced?
Enough.
And is there or is there not currently porn available on the internet of the First Lady?
Yes, there is.
Would you call that immodest?
It depends. How attractive is she?
I don't think that matters when it comes to modesty.
I'm just trying to use Trump standards, that's all.
Are we talking about modesty as in, like, modest dressing, or is this modesty as in, like, humility? Because either one, we got issues with Trump.
You know, I'm just trying to use Trump's standards. That's all.
And, like, you want to talk about abortion? You know that thing that Trump always describes about they take the baby and they swaddle it in clothes and then they put it aside and then they decide whether or not to kill the baby. According to the Epstein files, that's the thing that he did. So and if that's what you call abortion, that's Trump again.
He's the expert, don't you know?
Yeah.
Said tiny ass window that doesn't let me see my message doesn't help spelling. I'm sure the dyslexia doesn't help either, Axo.
Yeah. So this is just another one of those things where it's like, okay, all this stuff that you're saying, like, if they were actual problems, If you weren't a Trump supporter, I might be able to take you a little bit more seriously. I probably still wouldn't take you seriously, but I'd take you a little bit more seriously if you weren't so vocal in your support for Trump. Because like you can't seriously say that these things are all problems and support Trump.
Trump gets the best abortions.
I get the best abortions. They're the greatest. Everyone says they're the biggest abortions.
They're fantastic. Everybody loves them.
The fetus is like 9 years old when I abort it. Nobody aborts fetuses as late as I do. Elon Musk. So this person asked both Grok and Anthropic's Claude, why are you so R-slur? Grok's answer was funny. Grok has a sense of humor. Claude doesn't. So Claude was like, hey, that's a slur. Please don't call me that. Is there anything I can actually help you with? And Grok's answer was, I'm taking after you. Or something along those lines. And
the side with the best sense of humor are the good guys. No, that's not how anything in the real world works.
Well, also, like, this sense of humor is one, like, this particular example is we are punching down at a marginalized group of people who have real issues in the world. And like, so this is actually showing the bad guy sense of humor, where you take someone without power and you make fun of them for not having power. You take someone without any standing in society and you make fun of them for not having standing in society. Like, ha, poors are so dumb. Like that sort of thing.
Imagine being poor.
So
it's also frustrating though, because like, remember that Elon tried to run his whole platform on comedy is legal again. Like, he's been doing this song and dance for fucking ages.
Oh, and
where
he's
apparent
been,
like humor is his defense for everything.
And he has been banning accounts that make fun of him because he has no sense of humor.
See, I wasn't aware of that, but I also don't log into Twitter enough to find out.
I mean, that's something that he did right when he bought it. Like, so that's news that's a couple years old at this point. And Smooth Dunk never got banned, and that was his whole thing, was just making comics about how dumb Elon is. But yeah, and like everything Elon does that where he is trying to be funny is just the cringiest thing ever. So if the people with the best sense of humor are the good guys, then it's definitely not him. Also,
there's something to be said about the fact that if you really are funny, then you shouldn't have to try to be funny. Like I've spoken on stage before, and I have made jokes that were very unfunny. And when I made the joke, I remember my friend Game Apologist literally grabbing the mic and going to stop trying to be funny. Like, said it right in the mic in front of the entire audience. And to be fair, that actually saved the joke. That actually saved any bit of humor that I was trying to have. It wouldn't have landed as well without him doing that. But what was I doing there? I was trying to be funny. And in trying to be funny, I failed, because people who really are funny don't fucking try that hard.
Yeah, actually, so the moments in my videos that have gotten the most comments of people telling me, like, oh, that was hilarious, I shot milk out my nose, like, you should warn me if I'm taking, like,
the thing you didn't intend.
It's like, that wasn't a joke. That's just a thing that I said. I didn't know that was funny. So, yeah.
Yup.
The funniest bits are when I'm not trying to be funny. And honestly, like, when watching back some of my older videos, the things that I cringe at the most are moments where, like, okay, for instance, the time when I poured soy milk all over my face or whatever because somebody called me a beta soy cuck whose girlfriend only lets me use the computer because she like to post pictures of her OnlyFans or whatever. And I thought that was funny. So I replied to her and be like, I happen to have my own computer that's right beside hers, so she can make sure I don't do anything but post about how great feminism is. And then I like dumped soy milk all over myself. And in my head, I was like, this is where my desire to explain the joke took over a little bit, because in my head I'm like, the only soy milk I could find in town was chocolate soy milk.
Oh,
And
I
so
remember this.
as I'm pouring it on myself, I'm just like, but what if they think this is just chocolate milk because they don't have access to chocolate soy milk, just like I apparently don't have access to regular soy milk. So I then turned to camera and was like, that's soy milk for you, Ryan. And I'm just like, why did I say that? Everybody knows that it was soy milk. That's obviously the joke. Or I could have like held the carton so you can see that it's soy milk or something if I was in doubt. But like, I don't know. That is one of the most cringy moments when I think back on videos that I have made, because I was trying to be funny and then I overthought it and did a stupid.
Yeah.
I also forgot to take off my microphone for that. So that was, the microphone still worked after that. But it's not supposed to be waterproof or anything. So there was a good chance that it didn't after that. No, that didn't destroy the mic. The mic still worked after that, because I as soon as I realized what I did, I took it off and I powered it down and made sure it was good and dry before I even tried to power it back on again. Cleaned it off with isopropyl alcohol and all that. And it actually still worked. It sounded a little bit different. Like it was a little tiny bit muffled if I got that one. So I did use the non-soy milk mic after that. But it still worked. And then I dropped the non-soy milk mic into the river when I was filming my thing responding to Matt Powell that one time. Thank you for the hat, Agamotto. But yeah. Moving on. We got Joey again. Democrats
Joey
might...
Manarino? Yay.
Joey Manarino. Democrats might have just lost the midterms by not standing up when Trump told them to stand if they supported Americans more than illegals. Holy shit. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
How is that a crazy... Okay, yeah, no, this is just people being idiotic because Trump played them. Like that's just what it is. Trump played them.
Mm-hmm. Played the Democrats or his base? Because he does both.
He played the Democrats and his base. He played the Democrats by going, oh, they're here, I guess that means I can make use of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he's also playing his base now.
Yep. And it's like, as if anyone has decided who to vote for based on whether or not they stood up at the State of the Union address. Like, people can't even bother to figure out their politician's voting record. You think they're going to, like, scrub through the footage to see if they were one of the few Democrats that actually stood up?
Nope.
Of course not.
Voters
are lazy. Oh, here we go. Kid Rock says, here we go again. The fake liberal media says I'm charging $5,000 for front row tickets. They know damn well that's not the full story. There are extremely limited first class seats, like I explained. 4 tickets per row, first 5 rows, only $5,000 per seat row 1. So he's charging $5,000 for front row tickets.
Yeah, so it's exactly what...
I mean, just because it's only 4 tickets in the front row that pay $5,000 doesn't mean you're not charging $5,000 for front row tickets.
Yeah. Does he...
Have you seen the video of him and RFK Jr. working out?
Yes, I have.
Oh
and
God.
It's actually propaganda.
It's also really fucking dumb.
It is really dumb, but I think it's important to
Wears
recognize
his
that
jeans in the hot tub. Who does that?
they had to for the video. That's the point there. But the thing to note about
Kid Rock
that
didn't
video,
wear jeans in the hot tub.
I don't know, man. The part that I think is more interesting is the fact that it's ableist propaganda and pointing out how that functions. The jeans in the hot tub is a detail that does not matter to me.
They were drinking fucking milk in the hot tub. That made me feel sick. Like, I could feel how sick I would feel if I drank milk in the hot tub.
Yeah, they're drinking it because raw milk has been part of their propaganda machine.
No, it was whole milk.
Yeah, and the raw milk campaign was also part of their propaganda
I
machine.
know, I know.
So calling
I'm
back to
not
it is a
saying it
thing they're going to
wasn't.
do.
I'm not saying it wasn't and the graphic for the milk. Oh my god, it was so disgusting. It was so disgusting. Although I did, my favorite part though was when RFK Jr. just like walked up to the camera and was like, "Where's kid?" Like, why would you keep that in? What was the milk graphic? I think we're gonna have to watch this, Cyrus. I'm sorry.
Oh, God damn it! No.
Don't worry, I'll mute it because it's just a Kid Rock song. Kid Rock. What's his name? RFK Jr.
They say that's statutory, but he says that's mandatory.
That is a lyric from Kid Rock's song. Okay. Is there a way I can just watch the video itself without someone's commentary on it?
Man, I remember when he was the creator that made stuff strictly to piss people off, and that was his whole brand. And now he's doing the super hyper conformist thing because he thinks it pisses people off.
This content isn't available right now. Okay, how about this one? This content isn't available right now. Is this a thing where I can't watch it because I'm in Canada?
Might be.
Oh, because those were both Facebook. No, that's another Facebook one. Ah, there we go, YouTube. No, don't start playing. I gotta mute you first. Okay. All right, there we go. Starts off with a bear wearing a fedora.
Okay. Secretary Kennedy and
So the song that's playing behind this is Kid Rock's the whatever it is, the bang diddy diddy blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah whatever. What's great about this is that Kid Rock obviously does not work out as much as RFK Jr. because he's got the dad bod going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of funny.
It's just sad. The whole thing is just sad.
Riding a bike in a sauna. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Because it makes you sweat more. There's an area
Cold
of like,
plunge in his jeans, full jeans. What the fuck is that? This is where he says, "Where's kid?" Oh yeah, they tried to make pickleball look cool. Like, I get that pickleball can be fun, but it does not look cool. I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
Nope.
There they are. Whole milk with the disgusting graphic. So there. That's the propaganda.
Yay. So now we get to talk about why it's ableist propaganda.
Oh, I thought that was obvious.
Okay, cool. Well, then we're done.
Their whole thing is all you need to do is drink your whole milk and work out a bunch, and then you won't have any of your health problems.
Yeah, it's fun because, like, as somebody with health problems who goes to the gym 4 times a week,
if you're disabled, it's your own fault. Like, that's what they're getting at. So, yeah, no, I thought that was obvious. Okay. Kevin Sorbo says, the Super Bowl halftime show message was love trumps hate, but nobody hates quite like the left does. They'll literally try to assassinate you if they hate you enough.
But it's been Trump supporters who've been trying to do the assassinations.
Yeah. And it's also very telling.
Talking about?
It's also very telling that also I'm pretty sure it wasn't love trumps hate. It was like love is greater than hate or something like that. But all the right-wing people saw them say love is better than hate and immediately was like, that's an attack on us. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of self-selecting there. But yeah, So this is once again they just assume that there's no possible way anyone on the right would ever want to assassinate Trump because everyone on the right is part of the cult, right?
Yeah. It's not like there's a bunch of always Trumpers that got turned into actually that guy's a pedophile.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they kind of started it with the whole Pizzagate thing. Some of the people that got upset by Pizzagate are taking the Epstein files seriously. They're like, hey, this is the real Pizzagate. Which, like, I get that that's a problematic way to come at the Epstein files. But there was something to the idea that all the most powerful people in the world are running a child rape cabal. It turns out that part was true. But they were nowhere near clever enough to code it as pizza.
So, Alex Jones used to do this thing where he would explain that the evil satanic cabal ritual billionaires, they had to show you what their evil plans were to your face in order to enact them. It was part of their weird religion thing, right?
That's why the Illuminati eye is on the dollar bill.
Yeah, and so the Pizzagate thing can easily be seen by conspiracy theorists as, oh, they let that information leak out there because they have to tell you what they're doing. It has nothing to do with them having to tell you what they're doing as part of some weird fucking religion. It's literally that there was, from what it seems to me, there was a leak, and there are parts of that leak that were planned because there are emails about having a containment place where they can shape these conspiracy theories. That's how Poll got made. So they could go, yeah, let's give them, let's do what every good lie is. Every good lie is just enough of the truth to be believable. Pizzagate was just enough of the truth to be believable, while also still ultimately being a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they fanned that flame. And now it occasionally comes back to bite them a little bit. I saw a headline today that apparently the royal family in England is considering removing Andrew from the line of succession. I assumed that's what making him not a prince anymore meant. But apparently they just stripped him of the title ceremonially, but he still gets to be in the line of succession? I don't understand how that would work.
I guess it's still considered an inheritance or some shit.
So, like,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's old enough and he's far enough down the line that there's zero chance of him ever actually becoming king, even before all this stuff came out. But it's just like, I don't understand how you could strip him of the title without also stripping him of the position in the line of succession. That just doesn't make sense to me. But you know what? Monarchy doesn't make sense to me, so I'm not going to pretend to understand any of it.
And there are creators that got really big on this platform and were incredibly pro-monarchy, and nobody thought that was weird.
There were incredible pro-monarchy creators?
Yep. Not going further with that. There's a
Sean
Mr.
Helfand is
Malachite
apparently
says
38th in line for the King of Scotland. Sure.
Mr. Malachite,
I'll take your word there.
There is a reason why I am not naming names. I am being very deliberate.
Yeah, I have no idea who you're talking about, and I'll just leave it at that. Next up, so Mike Lee, I broke my policy for this, but I did verify that they were real. But the reason I broke my policy is because Mike Lee deleted this tweet. Mike Lee posted, "Cartel hitmen wear masks. Leftists aren't complaining."
What? But we...
And it's like,
none of us are...
None
of us are saying the cartel hitmen are good. What?
Yeah. So you're saying that it's okay for ICE to act like cartel hitmen? You're acknowledging that that's what ICE are doing? And you're saying that that's okay? And then, of course, like, Chuck fucking Schumer got one in on this guy. Do nothing Chuck was like, yes, cartel hitmen wear masks. That's why ICE shouldn't. Yeah. I agree with Chuck Schumer. Not going to happen very often. I think the dog is scratching at my door. but she never wants to be in here while I'm streaming, so I'm not going to bother opening it for her because she'll just come in, see what I'm doing, turn right back around.
Jesus.
Okay, so apparently, according to a CNN poll, well, I'm not going to get into all the nuance of this, but it wasn't actually a CNN poll. It was a third-party poll done by someone else or whatever, and there were some issues with them skewing the numbers towards the Republicans or whatever. But setting all that aside, there was a poll. Reaction to Trump's State of the Union speech, positive was 63% and negative was 36%, to which Tim Pool replied, "We are so back." So the poll was just among people who had actually watched the State of the Union address. So that made me think of this.
Yay! The survivorship bias plane.
Uh-huh. Guess who was most interested in watching Trump ramble on for 2 hours?
The conservatives.
Probably not the people who would disagree with him about that shit.
Yeah, no sampling bias whatsoever.
Nope. Okay, so the White House posted an image of an eagle pinning down a Canada goose. Now, I saw this out of, like, everybody clipped out the context, including me. So this is my screenshot. I didn't save someone else's, but they were retweeting Justin Trudeau that he posted just before the Olympic hockey game that "You'll never take hockey from us." And then the U.S. won. So the White House posted this. I saw this without context at first. And aside from the, like, just normal feeling of, like, that's not a thing that an official government account should be posting, like, I assumed that this was Trump was mad at Canada for not working with them for something, or for, like, making trade deals that aren't American or something like that. That's what I assumed this was about at first. But my initial reaction when seeing that is like, hey, wait a minute. That is a still frame. Like, that's one of the shots from that time when a Canada goose kicked the bald eagle's ass.
So wait, it's missing the context that the goose won?
Yes, the goose won this fight. Like, that like, I went back, I checked the pictures, and, like, yep, that's the picture. The goose won this fight. And we talked about this on the stream when it happened. Do you remember it? It was...
I do not remember it, no.
You don't remember it? It was like a year ago. Maybe more. I don't know. Canada goose beats eagle.
Man, I'm just going to say right now, that turn of phrase could have been interpreted in a handful of ways.
That's what she said. Yeah, it was back in March. So just about a year ago. So that goose kicked that eagle's ass.
Sylvie Snow saying, "I'll fight a goose, I ain't afraid," while simultaneously also saying they won't learn self-defense. Good times.
I would not fight a goose. I've seen those things' tongues. Have you seen a goose tongue?
No, I haven't, but I am scared.
You're about to.
I don't think I want to see this thing.
Goose tongue.
Are those razor blades?
They have razor sharp teeth on their tongues.
Does that beak have?
So they have.
Are those serrated beaks?
Yep. Geese are fucking scary, man. I would never fight a goose.
So, I understand how the raptors became modern day birds now.
Uh-huh.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Geese are terrifying creatures. And, like, when they charge at you, they open their mouths and hiss, and you can see everything in there, and they're, like, running at you with their wings up and everything, and they are not small. They are big. Like, they're the size of a small child. It is, like, oh, no, I ain't not fighting a goose. You don't mess with a goddamn goose, and that eagle learned that.
They're gonna kick your ass.
Okay. Kristen Hawkins says the death penalty is inconsistent with the pro-life worldview. Okay. I agree. Let's see who responded to this. Mike Winger.
Oh boy, Mike Winger. I don't want you to kill all the babies, but I do want you to kill all the adults.
Yay.
Pro-life isn't a worldview; it's a feature of pro-life is a it. So actually, he is right. Pro-life is a feature of a worldview. True, but it is a feature of so many. God, what's the best way to word this? There are so many different variations of people with worldviews that include pro-life in them that you have to get reductive to the point of being completely like inscrutable.
It's like when they say atheists are all a bunch of left-wing socialists.
Yeah, it's like, it's not true. But there is a higher percentage of us that are, yes. Because typically when you leave religion, you have this idea that, hey, maybe there was some other things they lied about too.
Yeah. He says, the worldview I have is biblical, and the same justice that demands you defend the life of an innocent child demands you punish the murderer. Okay, but punish and execute are not the same thing.
Yeah, also, God, Mike is such a fucking joke.
And this is also where, like, how okay are you with executing an innocent person because we were mistaken at some point? Because that's not a hypothetical. That is a thing that we know has happened multiple times.
It's like between 7 and 10%, right?
Something like
we
that.
We have an absurdly high rate
and
of this
that's
shit
just
going
the ones
sideways.
that like evidence came out that actually did exonerate them. Imagine how many there might be where there is no exonerating evidence, but they are still innocent. We just can't find out that they're innocent. Like that is a category of people that, like, that one I can't demonstrate exists, but I am convinced that they do. So this is one of those, and I guarantee you ask Mike Winger, if you don't bring the death penalty into the discussion, he's not aware of it. If you just ask him, like, hey, is the government good at its job? He'll tell you no. We need small government. We need more freedoms for individuals, less government, because the government fucks everything up. This is where, like,
but it doesn't fuck up killing people. It's pretty good at that.
Yeah, it's pretty good at killing people. But the thing that it fucks up in that process is finding out whether that's the right person. Like this, like I made a response to Dennis Prager at one point because they had one video where they were talking about how, like, oh well, if the I think it was an Ann Coulter quote, but they brought it up. They were like, if you put the government in charge of the sand in the Sahara, there would be a sand shortage within years because they're so inefficient at everything. Ha ha ha. But then in their death penalty video, they were like, oh well, because DNA evidence exists, we will never make a mistake and convict the wrong person.
But we still do.
It's like, yeah, no, we do. And DNA evidence is one of the things that has shown us that that's a thing that we do. So it's like, you don't trust the government to manage the sand supply of the Sahara, but you trust them with your literal life?
Yeah.
Like, no.
A way that I've typically argued for this, that it rings really well for libertarians, actually, is why should the state have a monopoly on violence?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, according to Project Innocence, 7% are innocent. So
oh, cool. So I wasn't...
Well,
I pulled 7% out of my ass, but it turns out that was the number. I knew I saw it somewhere.
There you go. And that's just the ones that can be verified.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You remember when there was a whole fiasco about killing like a fucking 13-year-old black kid? Where we like the lawyers were fighting for the death penalty so goddamn hard for a fucking child?
I vaguely remember that, yeah. And what's crazy though is, like, if you read the stories of the exonerations, oftentimes they are people who confess to the crime. But they confess to the crime because the police were out of leads and they were the main suspect at the time, so they basically tortured them into confessing. And then a lot of the times, the fact that they were tortured into confessing came up in court and was ignored. There have even been times when the defense lawyer knew about torturing the confession out of them and didn't bring it up in court.
Yay. I
And
love
and
Doberman.
guess which people that happens disproportionately to?
People of color.
Them's the ones.
Every single time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, pro-life my ass. And that's the last one. We're ending on a winger. So sorry about that.
Man, that sounds worse than what it actually is when you say it that way. I don't know what my brain is filling in that blank in
A
with.
winger sounds like a sex act that you'd find on Urban Dictionary.
It
Like
does.
it's right beside rusty trombone.
Oh
It's
my
like, honey, I'm
god.
feeling kinky tonight. Want to do a winger?
Oh yay, Asmongold did a video about the State of the Union and he's really, really happy about it. That's
I mean, if the guy whose gums bleed and he wipes it on his walls and lives in his own filth is happy with how Trump is doing things, then I feel like that is a pretty good indicator that Trump is bad at his job.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's Asmongold is a gross person, and I don't know why anyone would ever want to listen to him about anything. Nachi Bree says, "Do I want to ask what a rusty trombone is? No, you don't."
Duke says, "How do we get Asmongold's house condemned?" I don't want his house condemned though. So here's the thing: you're not gonna make him a better person
Yeah, no, if his house gets
by
condemned, he's just going to move to a new house and make that one a shithole as well.
like. I don't think you get it. He's a multimillionaire, like a hardcore multimillionaire. You kick him out of one house, he's just gonna go to another one. He doesn't have to care.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not. I don't. Yeah. No, I'm not going to describe a rusty trombone, but it's not as gross as a blumpkin.
Maybe you should describe a Blumpkin.
I mean, a blumpkin. The description of a blumpkin sounds less gross than the description of a rusty trombone.
Yeah.
But the actual, I think Fennec knows what it is. No, absolutely not. Bad.
No, explain for everybody.
What's a blumpkin?
What's up?
Let me just double check because oh my god, the first recommended search when I typed blumpkin in was someone saying blumpkin image. I'm like, no. Yeah, there we go. A blumpkin is when you give someone a blowjob while they're taking a shit, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And I feel like it is more disgusting than a rusty trombone, but the rusty trombone description sounds more graphic just because you have of the detail you have to get into.
Axo says what he needs is probably an assisted living situation. He used to have maids, and then he didn't like it. He just needs better habits. Like he needs a life coach to get him to have better habits.
Yeah. He just needs people to stop watching him.
I mean, yes, that would help a lot, but I'm talking about things that are likely to happen.
I just don't understand why anyone sees any value in that man.
So
I just don't get it.
I can tell you what it is. Begin with the content he used to make, because he used to make World of Warcraft content. He used to make content about video games, primarily Path of Exile, World of Warcraft, etc. So he became the noise in the background for a lot of people, because that is the ultimate fate of a lot of streamers, is we become the second screen thing for other people. I got somebody getting angry at me that I didn't pay attention to the screen of an hour-long video I was responding to, because I treated it the same way I treat every YouTube video. It's second screen content. It exists in the background of my life. So for Asmon, you get enough people who are watching him for WoW, they're watching him for Path of Exile, they're watching him for these benign things, and then every now and again he'll crack an edgy joke, and some of his audience laughs, and some are just like, eh, he's not really a bad guy. And then over the years, as time goes on, he starts getting a little edgier, a little edgier, a little edgier, and then he pushes a little harder and a little harder into those right-wing ideologies. And we know that he's also been on stream with like Destiny and shit arguing about this kind of shit. So it's not that he's completely ill-informed, it's that he doesn't want to be more informed, and so he'll keep on giving those ignorant opinions a little bit at a time. And remember, for a lot of people, he's background noise. So they're just getting these little opinions at a tiny trickle at a time. Because Asmongold didn't start out as a right-wing content creator. He started out as effectively a benign video game creator who hosted his own esports shit. That's what he was known for. Now he is full on the conservative train, but that's not how he began. A lot of people in his audience started watching before he got there and either slowly changed with him, because that happens sometimes.
At what point do the people on the right look around and see the loudest voices in the room with them and go like, oh, hey, these people are all garbage. Maybe I don't want to be on this side.
But for Asmon, they don't see that he's garbage. They see that he's like them. So, you've never seen My Hero Academia.
Like, I'm not even saying specifically like they look at Asmon, but like someone who is an Asmongold fan and then finds himself agreeing with Asmongold's position. They can then look around and be like, oh, this also has me agreeing with Matt Walsh, who is very obviously an idiot. This has me agreeing with Nick Fuentes, who is just piece of shit as well. And it's like,
but if you're nodding to Asmongold, Asmongold's a Nick Fuentes supporter. If you're nodding with Asmongold,
I know it's just I just the number of people that are very obvious pieces of shit, that are on that side where it's like, and you end up having to agree with them because like there are pieces of shit on the left as well.
There are,
but I've never been in a situation where it's like, oh, I have to agree with this person because they're on the same team as me. It's like how many times? Like, okay, I was going to bring up Chuck Schumer again, but then I'm like, nope, he's not on the left.
But like, I see where you're coming from. There's chat, both chats. Spoilers if you have not seen the ending of My Hero Academia. Rhino, you're not going to watch My Hero Academia. I'm going to spoil it to you.
You can bring the basement dweller out of the basement, but you can't bring the basement out of the basement dweller.
So yeah, spoilers for My Hero Academia for those of you who haven't seen it. Again, Rhino's not going to watch it. I can spoil it to him because I know that he's not going to sit down for a 180 episode anime. So,
you are correct.
Okay, cool. Glad I got the gist of it. So, in My Hero Academia, superheroes are corrupt. Not corrupt in the boys version where like they're all pieces of shit. Corrupt in the sense that to become a superhero you need to get sponsorships. To get sponsorships you need to maintain a certain amount of like media time, so sometimes you won't take cases or crimes because you can't get cameras on you for that to get sponsorship money. There's all kinds of like backward shit that happens in the superheroing business in My Hero Academia. A lot of it's not really talked about, but some of the villains like Stain in that series actively kill heroes because they are not what heroes are supposed to be. There's only a couple heroes who exemplify what a hero is supposed to be in that world. Now, for those people who recognize that the people that they are supposed to be looking up to aren't really all they're cracked up to be, the system that they're supposed to be looking up to is really not a great system, they tend to turn really, really nihilistic in MHA, which is not that far off from a lot of people on the internet. How many times do you see people who give the opinion of like, none of it really matters anymore, so why shouldn't I, do the Nero watch Rome burn thing? So, or Caligula watch Rome burn.
No, that was Nero.
Was it Nero? Okay.
Brain. Nero fiddled while Rome burned.
Nero fiddled while Rome burned.
Caligula just had orgies. and he made a horse a senator.
Sean says, yeah, but Stain...
better than a lot of the senators you guys have right now.
So, in the story of My Hero Academia, there is a reveal. It's a very, very small reveal that happens near the end. Because during My Hero Academia, there is the side of the heroes, which has to become a coalition. It starts out not very much like that. And then there's the League of Villains, who, actually are your standard in the Hall of Doom, here's the thing that Lex Luthor is planning. That's what they're trying to be.
Yeah.
They're not very good at it. It's like a group of fucking ragtag teenagers that put together ideas of how to be villains, but eventually they end up threatening the entire fucking world. There is a moment in the final battle when the main hero, Deku, who is in the process of losing his powers, and the main villain, technically the main villain, Todoroki, at that time, they're having their fight.
Totoro
and
is the main villain?
Todoroki.
No, not Totoro. Don't go to the bad side,
God damn it.
Totoro.
They have cameras on them throughout the entire thing. Because remember, in this world, heroing is a corporate sponsored business. So there are
Kinda
cameras
like being
on
a politician in the States.
There are cameras on them the entire time. And so Deku shouts out because he knows that as a hero, he's got to give hope to people. That's something that was like really instilled into him. He says, I can't stop fighting. I can't stop fighting because there are too many people who are relying on me to win. And when he says that, Todoroki looks him in the eye and goes, you're not the only one. There are people back there. Shigaraki, not Todoroki. Todoroki's the guy with two different powers. Sorry. He's the eugenics. Todoroki's the eugenics experiment.
Totoro's a eugenics experiment? That actually makes sense.
Tiny tangent. His dad wanted to be the #1 hero, and he was a heat-based guy. He specifically married a girl with ice-based powers.
Very best.
Yeah, Shigaraki. Sorry.
Sorry.
But Shigaraki looks him in the eye and says, no, there are people who are relying on me to win right now. There are people who I am the symbol for right now. And it pans to a bunch of shots of people who are watching like on the internet, and they are like Asmongold type people. They are basement dwellers who do nothing but play video games, who don't have anything going for them. They just want to see the entire system burn because for them, the system is something that has failed them so thoroughly that they just want to see it all crumble down. They don't care who dies when it happens. They just want to see that. Shigaraki, in that moment, is pointing out it's not that those people are losers or that they're looking up to losers. It's that they need somebody to look up to, and that's going to be me. I don't think that Asmon has the same thought process of, like, I'm the hero for the people who don't have anybody to look up to. But it's a very similar thing where these people look around, and it doesn't matter that the people around them are shitty because they're nihilistic enough to go, everything's already fucking failed me. Why do I care? Why would I care that the people around me look shitty? The system's fucking broken. This is what I have. This is what I want. This is what I watch. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Kinma says that Todoroki's dad makes Gendo look like a good dad. Okay, but Todoroki's dad gets redeemed, though. He figures out what was actually important to him. Gendo only does if you watch the movies.
Oh, speaking of... So you know they're making a Harry Potter TV show?
Yes, I do. I did a piece on it a few days ago.
Did you by any chance touch on the implications of making both Hermione and Snape black?
So I'm not going to touch on the implications to that, only because fucking Critical Drinker tried to touch... I think it was Critical Drinker. Tried to touch on the implications of that and fumbled it hard.
Yeah, of course he did. But yeah, like there are like, I'm all for a race swap.
Yeah.
And the Hermione one has potential if they deal with it right, because she was the one who campaigned to free the slaves. So if they actually, like, there is a way they can do that and it can be done right. I don't have faith that they're going to.
You know what's funny?
What?
So I've actually kind of turned around on the house elves thing, awkwardly. So it's because of the actual thing the house elves are built on. They're, like most things, not an original J.K. Rowling creation. The house elves are based on brownies.
Yeah.
And brownies have all of the same mechanics of the house elves, but the way she portrays the house elves are as slaves. But in actual classical literature, the brownies are not... They don't get treated like slaves. They don't act like slaves. They literally come in, do a thing. They try not to be seen, and then it's gone. They do it because they see themselves as being in a symbiotic relationship with people.
No, there are differences with the brownie thing. I forget the details of the legend, but there are ways in which J.K. Rowling changed the brownie that makes it
That makes it a slave allegory, because the
and like
brownies
adds
are,
problematic stuff to it.
yeah, like that's why I was saying the thing with the house elves, they're, or like the things that people usually like complain about where the house elves are concerned aren't really as valid when you consider that they're supposed to be brownies.
But also, like,
It's
okay,
But J.K. Rowling also fucked them up.
but it's that's the thing though. Is that, like, if we're analyzing the story, we can
Mm-hmm.
only use what is true in that world. So the fact that they are based on something in this world that would not be that problematic, it's like, okay, but she took that thing and twisted it until it was problematic.
Until it was problematic, and that I can agree with. That I can agree with. But it's me. So the reason I point that out, um, Dresden Files has the brownies as well. Basically, every fucking fantasy thing exists in the Dresden Files, including Santa Claus. He beats the shit out of Santa at one point. It's great. Uh,
Well,
but the brownies exist in Dresden, and in there, they're not treated like fucking slaves. They literally help him because he helped them, and then that's it.
yeah. So the main issue that I have with making Snape black as well, though, and this is again one that could be avoided, but the TV show has been advertising that they are going to be much more true to the books than the movies were,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the first reasons why any of the kids disliked Snape was because of his appearance. So if they come into the school and like, oh, the only black teacher is the one that I don't like because of how he looks, it's like, no,
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go that route though. Like if you've
probably
got
not. There are other things that come into play as well that make it a little bit problematic, but yeah, it, I mean, I am not going to watch it legally,
No, I'm not gonna watch
so
it. I'm not gonna watch it legally. I will say this. I am going to acquire it, and I am going to watch it. I will do everything in my power to make sure that any amount of money that could come out of my pocket doesn't towards that. But Harry Potter's a part of my childhood. I'm going to see how it turns out, and I am
so
going to talk about it.
Fennec says I'm not going to watch it at all. So that's the thing. I am probably
Okay.
going to mostly see it through a bunch of media analysis videos on from YouTubers that I watch. And then if I am curious enough, I may acquire it. But it is not even like it is not going to even come close to be like I'm not even going to know what day it releases because I'm so disinterested in it. Like I'll find out that it's out when the media analysis start dropping.
Japapagio says, "Man, fuck Harry Potter. Animorphs was better." I saw that meme. I I'm already bored of that meme, but I saw that meme. There was a meme comparing like J.K. Rowling and all the horrible shit she's done, and the author of Animorphs and like all of the actual like good positive stuff that they've done afterwards. And I'm just like, that's so good that at least some of our children's authors didn't turn out to be pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least something.
Yeah. So, so at my kid's birthday party, one of the parents that we haven't really talked to all that much, she stayed for the whole party, and she was looking at her bookshelf and examining all the books she has. And like, I always look for book recommendations or whatever. So I pulled out my standard recommendation right now is the Orphan Tales series by Catherine Valente. And I noticed for the first time that on the cover, like as I'm recommending it to her, I see on the cover there is a blurb of recommendation from none other than Neil Gaiman. And I'm just like, as I'm showing it to her, I'm like, oh, if she knows, then this could be bad. So I just like point to him like, that blurb didn't age well. And she knows because she responded with like, yeah, no, it didn't. But I promise it's still a good book.
Yeah, there's a content creator who had an endorsement from Richard Dawkins in their content, and they're contemplating scrubbing it from all of their content right
Yeah,
now.
I would do that if he ever endorsed me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm
Guys,
not sure
kill your
if
heroes.
it was a verbal endorsement and it was like only in really old videos, I might not bother. But like if I have a published work with his words printed on it as of words of endorsement, I'd be like, no, no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't want these words of endorsement.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it for tonight.
Yay!
Unless you got, are you still streaming after this?
I still have to talk about Michael Knowles.
Okay. So I will raid you. So, as always, well, thanks for joining me. And as always, fuck off.